Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, gunmen kill 7 policemen in the Galadimawa area of Abuja. Police launch investigation into attack. Protesters storm National Assembly demanding resignation of Senate President and the House of Representatives Speaker over constituency projects. Lawmakers accuse government officials of organizing protests. National Assembly gives itself 2 weeks to amend the Constitution to pave way for the creation of state and community police. And 12 boys and their football coach trapped in a Thailand flooded cave receive food and medicine aid for the first time in 10 days.
On Business News tonight, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation announces plan to increase the country's crude oil reserves by 1 billion barrels annually.
While on sports news, in 2 pulsating matches, England and Sweden booked their places in the quarterfinals of the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia.
An all-progressive Congress in the Southeast drums of support for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election bid in 2019. It was at the Owerri mega rally.
We begin tonight from Abuja, where the police authorities have confirmed the killing of 7 of its men by suspected armed robbers. Police spokesman Jumo Moshood, who confirmed the incident, said that the men were killed in the line of duty in the Galadimawa area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. He, however, says that the police have launched an investigation to unmask those behind the attack. The police also paraded some suspect linked to the killings in Benue and in Plateau State.
The attack on our police personnel and the killing of 7 police men. That is why people who are calling for the disbandment or end to SARS are not doing the nation any good. These are police personnel that were attacked and killed by armed robbers and other bandits. And when you now begin to call for ends to SARS, this is a living witness that police personnel die in the process of protecting Nigerians. And it is important the SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, are the elite force of the Nigerian police force. They are the fighting force that the police is using to cope and to reduce form of robbery and criminality to the BRS in the country. So I hinge my conclusion on the fact that investigation has commenced fully into this incident, and the perpetrator will definitely be arrested and prosecuted.
Also in the nation's capital, some protesters today stormed the National Assembly to demand an end to the constituency projects and accusing federal lawmakers of budget padding. The protest is coming on the day the lawmakers resumed after a short recess. However, the lawmakers insist the protests are sponsored by some government officials.
These protesters gather at the entrance of the National Assembly, insisting that their voices must be heard. They accuse lawmakers of padding the 2018 budget and the inclusion of constituency projects in the budget.
They insert money into our budget. They call it padding. Padding is illegal to our constitution.
One session, whether in the red chamber or in the green chamber, none of these chambers ever sat to take assessment of what they have been doing in the name of constituency project.
But the National Assembly gate is locked to prevent the protesters from gaining access into the Assembly complex.
Distinguished Senate President,
inside the Senate chamber, lawmakers who are resuming after a short recess dismiss the protest, alleging that government officials are behind the protests.
It's now 2,000 naira per person to come and protest. And if you go to Garki, they are there in numbers. So what I'm saying is that they are only doing their job, earning their daily pay. They don't even know what constituency project is all about.
Mr. President needs to investigate this and call to order. There's no secret in this. If you go out there, those boys will tell you where they're collecting the money from, the minister that has given them the money, the governor that has given them the money. And these are governors and ministers in the same ruling party.
They also vow that constituency projects will not be discontinued.
Everybody should be made to understand very clearly that constituency project does not put money in the pocket of any legislator. We don't even, in most cases, know the contractors who carry out this project. I challenge any person who believes there has been abused to come up with evidence of such. And I speak for the rest of our colleagues when I say that there are some places in this country that the only filler that they belong to this government, to this country, is the project that are attracted by members of the National Assembly as constituency projects.
The protest coming at the resumption of plenary at the National Assembly is not entirely surprising, considering the impasse between the National Assembly and the executive over the 2018 budget. President Buhari had accused the National Assembly of introducing new projects amounting to 578 billion naira into the budget. But the National Assembly kicked back, maintaining that the adjustments and reductions in the number of projects approved were made to address geopolitical imbalances that came with the executive proposals. Linda, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, federal lawmakers are proposing a constitution amendment for the establishment of state police. To this effect, the Senate has set up a 2-week target for amending the constitution. The lawmakers believe that governors should be able to control security in their states to an extent, and that establishment of state police will curb killings. They are also maintaining their stand for the reorganization of the country's security architecture. Our correspondent Terry Kumi reports.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, my name is...
The National Assembly has just resumed after its 3 weeks recess. Unexpectedly, the issue of the recent killings in the country takes center stage, as some lawmakers in the House of Representatives are dressed in black to mourn the recent killings in Plateau State.
Over 52 villages currently under illegal and forceful occupation in Barikin Ladi, Riom, Bokos, Bassa, and Mangu local governments should be recovered by government and the displaced owners resettled on their ancestral land.
Mr. Speaker, as a Muslim, my religion teaches me that when you kill one human being, it is as if you have killed the whole of humanity. And, Mr. Speaker, killing is killing.
The security situation in the country even moves a lawmaker to tears.
If not because my grandfather maternally relocated to Kano, I would have been in Jos. I would have been a victim of this very cruel killing.
And the rowdy session is closely averted as another is interrupted.
Why are you making so much noise?
As lawmakers react further, some propose the establishment of state police.
The time has come, and I have with me a constitutional amendment for us to amend our constitution to establish the state police.
Mr. Speaker, we should accommodate state police and allow security councils of the states, under leadership of the governors, to give some limited orders to even the armed forces.
The attention of the House was also drawn to the ongoing communal clash between the people of Mfuma in Cross River State and those of Izi in Ebonyi State due to a land dispute.
This internal aggression was precipitated by a land dispute between the two Cross River and Ebonyi communities. The House is further informed that more than 200 lives have been lost due to the internal aggression, which is avoidable.
Meanwhile, in the Senate, the same issue is raised.
Mr. President, like I said, over 10,000 people are killed in Zamfara State. Zamfara State is about 99.9 Muslims. So naturally, it is Muslims that are going to be killed. Why is not everybody making case about that one? Why was it not given any religious coloration? Plateau State is predominantly Christians. So if people are killed in Plateau, naturally, Christians will be killed.
And I want to suggest clearly that this Senate must take it as a responsibility to make provision for state police going forward as quickly as possible. So if we're able to come articulate processes and procedures that will ensure that this is not abused, I think that will go a long way in resolving this problem, so that each state will have the type of police they need.
As lawmakers call for the overhaul of the country's security architecture and creation of state police, the average Nigerian who is directly at the receiving end can only pray that Nigerian lives begin to matter, irrespective of tribe or religion. Terry Ikumi, Channels Television News.
The rising crime rate and violence spreading across the country has increased the call for the need to have state police. This many believe, will fill the inadequate gap of the present number of police personnel and the population. In this report, our correspondent Oreoluwa Shonibare looks at the state of the police force in Nigeria and the debate on community policing.
195 million people and counting. Little wonder Nigeria is dubbed the giant of Africa. With such a number of people, it would be expected that there would be that need to checkmate and discipline by security agencies. A satisfactory ratio, according to the United Nations Police Benchmark, has 220 police officers to 100,000 people. But a visit to Wikipedia pegs the figure of police officers in Nigeria at about 372,000. So in Nigeria, going by the requirement of the UN, at 50 million people, only about 8 states are catered for. The number of available police personnel leaves about 194,950,000 at the mercy of crime. Aside from the mismatch in numbers, there was also a disturbing protest by mobile police officers in Borno State, which betrays a crack in the system. So, should the call for state police in Nigeria by various quarters be seen as a move in the right direction? The Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, and some state governors certainly think so.
You cannot realistically police a country the size of Nigeria centrally from Abuja. State police and other community policing methods are clearly the way to go.
There's a need for the state police, and we can say it's only the answer.
But there are some groups who vehemently oppose the idea, citing a witch hunt agenda by those clamoring for it.
We vehemently reject recent calls for the establishment of state police, which obviously is a recipe for disaster. The state police is just a license for the state governors to formalize their militia and set them to hound opponents and assist in organizing sham elections.
The debate will go on, but with the alarming rise in violence and killings across the country, there is a need to urgently address the issue of police recruitment to fit what the population deserves. Oreoluwa Shonibare, Channels Television News.
And in part two, after the break, we'll keep our focus on national security and the clamor to have state police. Plus, Federal High Court in Abuja reopens money laundering case of former PDP National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Olisa Metu. Judge says that Metu can defend himself. Please stay with us.